Hello! Welcome back to Curiosity Studio. My name is Heather, and I'm an artist, a storyteller, and picture book enthusiast, and I'm here to read some stories this month for Mental Health Awareness Month, where we're talking about connecting to ourselves, our environment, our relationships, and our community as a way to foster mental health in ourselves and those around us. So, this week we're talking about relationships and how connecting to those around us, as we've figured out in the last couple of years, how that is so integral to our own mental health as well as to those in our everyday life and beyond. And this week I want to bring one of my favorite books of all time. It is called The 3 Questions. It's written and illustrated by Jon Muth, and it's based on a story by Leo Tolstoy. And I remember coming across this book quite a few years ago now and being so thrilled to find such a beautiful concept wrapped up in like 32 illustrated pages. So I hope you enjoy it as well. Grab a snack, get a cozy blanket, and settle in as we talk about the 3 questions. There once was a boy named Nikolai, who sometimes felt uncertain about the right way to act. "I want to be a good person," he said, "but I don't always know the best way to do that." Nikolai's friends understood, and they wanted to help him. "If only I could find the answers to my 3 questions," Nikolai continued, "then I would always know what to do." When is the best time to do things? Who is the most important one? And what is the right thing to do? Nikolai's friends considered his first question. Then Sonia, the heron, spoke. "To know the best time to do things, one must plan in advance," she said. Gogol, the monkey, who had been rooting through some leaves to find something good to eat, said, "You'll know when to do things if you watch and pay close attention." Then Pushkin the dog, who was just dozing off, rolled over and said, "You can't pay attention to everything yourself. You need a pack to help you decide when to do things. For example, Gogol, a coconut is about to fall on your head." Nikolai thought for a moment. Then he asked his second question. Who is the most important one? "Those who are closest to heaven," Sonia said, circling up to the sky. "Those who know how to heal the sick," said Gogol, rubbing his bruised noggin. "Those who make the rules," growled Pushkin. Nikolai thought some more. Then he asked the third question. "What is the right thing to do?" "Flying," said Sonia. "Having fun all the time," laughed Gogol. "Fighting," barked Pushkin right away. The boy thought for a long while. He loved his friends. He knew they were all trying their best to help him answer his questions, but their answers didn't seem quite right. Then an idea came to him. "I know," he thought. "I will ask Leo the turtle. He's lived a very long time, so surely he will know the answers that I'm looking for." Nikolai hiked high up into the mountains where the old turtle lived all alone. When Nikolai arrived, he found Leo digging in the garden. The turtle was old, and digging was hard for him. "I have 3 questions. I came to ask your help," Nikolai said. "When is the best time to do things? Who is the most important one? What is the right thing to do?" Leo listened carefully, but he only smiled. Then he went on with his digging. "Oh, you must be tired," Nikolai said at last. "Let me help you." The turtle gave him his shovel and thanked him. And because it was easier for a young boy to dig than it was for an old turtle, Nikolai kept on digging until the rows were finished. But just as he finished, the wind blew wildly and rain burst from darkened clouds. As they moved towards the cottage for shelter, Nikolai suddenly heard a cry for help. Running down the path, he found a panda whose leg had been injured by a falling tree. Carefully, Nikolai carried her into Leo's house and made a splint for her leg with a stick of bamboo. The storm raged on, banging at the doors and windows. The panda woke up. "Where am I?" she said. "And where is my child?" The boy ran out of the cottage and down the path. The roar of the storm was deafening. Pushing against the howling wind and drenching rain, he ran farther into the forest. There he found the panda's child, cold and shivering on the ground. The little panda was wet and scared, but alive. Nikolai carried her inside and made her warm and dry. Then he laid her in her mother's arms. Leo smiled when he saw what the boy had done. The next morning the sun was warm and the birds sang, and all was well with the world. The panda's leg was healing nicely, and she thanked Nikolai for saving her and her baby from the storm. At that moment, Sonia, Gogol, and Pushkin arrived to make sure everyone was all right. Nikolai felt great peace within himself. He had wonderful friends, and he had saved the panda and her child. But he also felt disappointed. He still had not found the answers to his 3 questions. So he asked Leo one more time. The old turtle looked at the boy. "But your questions have been answered," he said. "They have?" asked the boy. "Yesterday, if you had not stayed to help me dig my garden, you wouldn't have heard the panda's cries for help in the storm. Therefore, the most important time was the time you spent digging in the garden. The most important one at that moment was me, and the most important thing to do was to help me with my garden. Later, when you found the injured panda, the most important time was the time you spent mending her leg and saving her child. The most important ones were the panda and her baby. And the most important thing to do was to take care of them and make them safe." Remember, then, that there is only one important time, and that is now. The most important one is always the one who you are with. And the most important thing to do is good for the one who is standing at your side. For these, my dear boy, are the answers to what is most important in the world. This is why we are here. And that's the end of the 3 questions. So I hope you enjoyed that lovely story. I know I love to hear it every time I do. And as you move into your week, think about those. In your day-to-day life, what is the right thing to do? Who is the most important one? And when is the right time to do things? You can do it in any order. But it's a wonderful way to check in and just be present with people around you. And really, we have suffered so much by not being able to be connected to others that giving a little more attention to that is a wonderful balm that can heal a lot of wounds, even if they're big and traumatic wounds too. So I hope this week is good for you, and I will see you next week. Bye.